Bill Gates' most famous quotes for life. Patience is a key element of success. Don't compare yourself with anyone in this world. If you do so, you are insulting yourself. If you are born poor, it's not your mistake. But if you die poor, it's your mistake. Life is not fair. Get used to it. To win big, you sometimes have to take big risks. Measuring programming progress by lines of code is like measuring aircraft building progress by weight. Most people overestimate what they can do in 1 year and underestimate what they can do in 10 years. I choose a lazy person to do a hard job because a lazy person will find an easy way to do it. Your most unhappy customers are your greatest source of learning. If you can't make it good, at least make it look good. Only through focus can you do world-class things, no matter how capable you are. I never took a day off in my 20s. Not one. Success is a lousy teacher. It seduces smart people into thinking they can't lose. We all need people who will give us feedback. That's how we improve. Be nice to nerds. Chances are you'll end up working for one. It's fine to celebrate success, but it is more important to heed the lessons of failure. As we look ahead into the next century, leaders will be those who empower others. If your business is not on the internet, then your business will be out of business. I work hard because I love my work. People cannot become truly knowledgeable without being excellent readers. If you think your teacher is tough, wait till you get a boss. We're changing the world with technology. Software is a great combination between artistry and engineering. I am not in competition with anyone but myself. My goal is to improve myself continuously. Success today requires the agility and drive to constantly rethink, reinvigorate, react, and reinvent. A breakthrough in machine learning would be worth 10 Microsofts. To be a good professional engineer, always start to study late for exams because it teaches you how to manage time and tackle emergencies. I was lucky to be in the right place at the right time, but many others were also in the same place. The difference was that I took action. Leaders are those who empower others. I am not topper in my university, but all toppers are working in my Microsoft company. Innovation is moving at a scarily fast pace. Investing in tomorrow's technology today is more critical than ever. Customers want high quality at low prices, and they want it now. Software is the magic thing whose importance only goes up over time. We always overestimate the change that will occur in the next 2 years, and underestimate the change that will occur in the next 10. Don't let yourself be lulled into inaction. I believe innovation is the most powerful force for change in the world. Automation applied to an inefficient operation will magnify the inefficiency. The most meaningful way to differentiate your company from your competition is to do an outstanding job with information. Bringing together the right information with the right people will dramatically improve a company's ability to develop and act on strategic business opportunities. Common Core is a big win for education. While we're all very dependent on technology, it doesn't always work. My grade point average went from a 2.2 to a 4.0 over the summer. I wanted to get straight A's. I decided to get straight A's. I didn't want people to think I was dumb. And when you get straight A's once, it's easier. The internet is just a passing fad. And knowledge management is a means, not an end. I hope someday what people can do with their lives depends on their talents and how hard they are willing to work, rather than on where they happen to be born. The ability of a successful company to add functionality to its product has long been upheld. There is a difference between what technology enables and what historical business practices enable. There's nobody getting rich writing software that I know of. The future of Windows is to let the computer see, listen, and even learn. If you believe that every life has equal value, it's revolting to learn that some lives are seen as worth saving and others are not. We said to ourselves, this can't be true. But if it is true, it deserves to be the priority of our giving. If you're using first-class land for biofuels, then you're competing with the growing of food. And so you're actually spiking food prices by moving energy production into agriculture. Even though I only have a high school degree, I'm a professional student. If your culture doesn't like geeks, you're in real trouble. The inventory, the value of my company, walks out the door every evening. I have seen firsthand that agricultural science has enormous potential to increase the yields of small farmers and lift them out of hunger and poverty. The pace of progress in biology creates a foundation that naturally gets picked up by the biotech and pharmaceutical industry to solve rich world diseases. This is attractive science. It's science that people want to work on. People everywhere love Windows. 2 out of every 5 people on Earth today owe their lives to the higher crop outputs that fertilizer has made possible. Innovation is a good thing. The human condition, put aside bioterrorism and a few footnotes, is improving because of innovation. Students deserve great teachers, and teachers deserve the support they need to become great. Drones overall will be more impactful than I think people recognize, in positive ways to help society. If you take from the most wealthy and give to the least wealthy, it's good. It starts to balance out. Vision without execution is daydreaming. Depending on where you live, cooking, sex, and pooping are either three of life's pleasures or what kills you. Headlines, in a way, are what mislead you because bad news is a headline, and gradual improvement is not. We are not even close to finishing the basic dream of what the PC can be. We're at the point now where the challenge isn't how to communicate effectively with email, it's ensuring that you spend your time on the email that matters most. Like a human being, a company has to have an internal communication mechanism, a nervous system, to coordinate its actions. When I was in college for the games of that era, I was as hardcore as anyone was. I wouldn't say I outgrew it, but you always have to have a finite number of addictions. Philanthropy is fun and fulfilling. I don't generally read a lot of fiction. The first rule of any technology used in a business is that automation applied to an efficient operation will magnify the efficiency. The second is that automation applied to an inefficient operation will magnify the inefficiency. When you want to do your homework, fill out your tax return, or see all the choices for a trip you want to take, you need a full-size screen. 3D is a way of organizing things, particularly as we're getting much more media information on the computer. A lot more choices, a lot more navigation than we've ever had before. I think any statement about stock prices is always suspect unless it's made by Warren Buffett. A first-generation fortune is the most likely to be given away. But once a fortune is inherited, it's less likely that a very high percentage will go back to society. I definitely think leaving kids massive amounts of money is not a favor to them. The first 5 years have so much to do with how the next 80 turn out. I'm not somebody who goes to church on a regular basis. The specific elements of Christianity are not something I'm a huge believer in. Climate change is a terrible problem, and it absolutely needs to be solved. It deserves to be a huge priority. If you are low income in the United States, you have a higher chance of going to jail than getting a 4-year degree. There is a certain responsibility that accrued to me when I got to this unexpected position. Vaccination is one of the easiest things on the way to development. It's much easier than roads and a great education system. It's very basic. It's one of the first things you want to get right. I don't think you're as capable of handling lack of sleep or whatever challenges you throw at your body as you get older. However, I never missed a day of work. The power of capitalism to mediate the gap between rich and poor is pretty incredible. Indeed, I think year by year the gap gets less. The computer was born to solve problems that did not exist before. If I will start all over again, I would choose network marketing. I have been struck again and again by how important measurement is to improving the human condition. Stolen is a strong word. It's copyrighted content that the owner wasn't paid for. Just in terms of allocation of time resources, religion is not very efficient. There's a lot more I could be doing on a Sunday morning. In order for the United States to do the right things for the long term, it appears to be helpful for us to have the prospect of humiliation. Sputnik helped us fund good science, really good science. The semiconductor came out of it. According to Ethiopian custom, parents wait to name a baby because children often die in the first weeks of life. Nobody spends any money on smallpox unless they worry about a bioterrorist recreating it. No one person controls Microsoft. The board and the shareholders decide whether they want to have me as CEO. Technology is just a tool. In terms of getting the kids working together and motivating them, the teacher is the most important. Microsoft was founded with a vision of a computer on every desk and in every home. We've never wavered from that vision. Our success has really been based on partnerships from the very beginning. Certain teams are more careful in what they write. They generate less bugs. You can know that, but it still doesn't mean there might not be one bug that would be bad to ship the product with. If I was down to the last dollar of my marketing budget, I'd spend it on PR. Creativity allows people to be effective. How you gather, manage, and use information will determine whether you win or lose. Convert bad news to good news. The only definition by which America's best days are behind it is on a purely relative basis. Never before in history has innovation offered promise of so much to so many in so short a time. I am results-oriented. The world needs banking, but it does not need banks. There will be two types of businesses in the next 5 years. Those that are on the internet, and those that are out of business. Information technology and business are becoming inextricably interwoven. I don't think anybody can talk meaningfully about one without the talking about the other. The internet is becoming the town square for the global village of tomorrow. Treatment without prevention is simply unsustainable. The human body is the most complex system ever created. The more we learn about it, the more appreciation we have about what a rich system it is. Customer service will become the primary value-added function of every business. Don't tax my income, tax my consumption. The advance of technology is based on making it fit in, so that you don't really even notice it. So it's part of everyday life. Well, private money can take risks in a way that government money often isn't willing to. You can make money and you can make excuses, but you can never make money out of excuses. Every day we're saying, how can we keep this customer happy? How can we get ahead in innovation by doing this? Because if we don't, somebody else will. I believe that with great wealth comes great responsibility. A responsibility to give back to society and a responsibility to see that those resources are put to work in the best possible way to help those most in need. The world won't care about your self-esteem. The world will expect you to accomplish something before you feel good about yourself. My success, part of it certainly, is that I have focused in on a few things. If you want to build a great company, get the hell out of Silicon Valley. It is my belief that industry and government around the world should work even more closely to protect the privacy and security of internet users, and promote the exchange of ideas while respecting legitimate government considerations. You have a meeting to make a decision, not to decide on the question. Humanity's greatest advances are not in its discoveries, but in how those discoveries are applied to reduce inequity. I don't have a magic formula for prioritizing the world's problems. Computers and games don't waste time, people do. Discrimination has a lot of layers that make it tough for minorities to get a leg up. A bad strategy will fail no matter how good your information is, and lame execution will stymie a good strategy. If you do enough things poorly, you will go out of business. Embrace bad news to learn where you need the most improvement. I believe that every life is valuable, that we can make things better. That innovation is the key to a bright future, that we're just getting started. If you give people tools and they use their natural abilities and their curiosity, they will develop things in ways that will surprise you very much beyond what you might have expected. Learning to write programs stretches your mind and helps you think better, creates a way of thinking about things that I think is helpful in all domains. DNA is like a computer program, but far, far more advanced than any software ever created. Share and subscribe for more famous quotes for life.